We take the purpose and we infuse it into the organization. Okay? We're going to take the purpose, take the values into the purpose. Now we're going to talk about the organizational piece. So we're going to put the purpose piece over here. So that's another piece. Are you okay, Jeff? Okay. So organization is the most powerful but least appreciated. This is a statement that most people in management circles make. I don't agree with that statement, okay? And I'll tell you why in a little bit. But it is it's certainly underappreciated by dentists and other healthcare professionals. The people that are running dentistry are the people that are starting to run dentistry are the people that are running medicine, the people that understand organizations. And as dentists abdicate their leadership and organizational capabilities, they just need to go to work for somebody. And that's what they're doing. Because dental school doesn't prepare us. It didn't prepare us for the world that we faced way back when I got out of school, let alone the complex world that we're in today. So organization is the driving force. Now, I'm going to talk about elements, driving forces, and energy. The element is sitting here. The car is sitting here. The car isn't going anyplace if it doesn't have any fuel in it. Are we clear about that? The car isn't going anyplace if it doesn't have an engine in it. The car isn't going anyplace if it doesn't have wheels on it. Right? So we need to think about what those elements are. But organization is how you put all the pieces together. Okay? That's what it is. So if you ever have felt that you're pushing boulders uphill, okay? If you ever have felt that you're working harder than you should be for the results you're getting, I can assure you it's organization and structure. It's organization and structure. The organizational element is weak. Okay? That particular driving force, it's not driving any place. It's actually probably resisting. So there are 4 key components in organization: standards, systems, positions, and activities. Okay? The standards come from our values and our purpose. So standards, let me just become expectations, become standards, okay? Become commitments to how we're going to act and behave. So if any practice to grow, there has to be a set of standards based on all policies and systems. Okay? These were the 3 standards that Tom Watson of IBM laid out, which made it the single most profitable company in the history of commerce. The single most long-term profitable company in the history of commerce. Number 1, the individual must be respected. So respect is number 1. By individual, he meant all individuals. He didn't just mean patients. He meant suppliers, vendors, people you work with, you know, your accountant, your attorney, you know, your dental supplier, your equipment person, whoever is working. All people should be treated with respect. Nobody should be left waiting in your reception room for you. Okay? If you're going to treat somebody with respect, everybody's treated with respect. Do you get the drift of this or not? That people, even within the organization, he wanted people to treat each other with what? Respect. Okay? The customer, in our world, the patient, must be given the best possible service and care. Best possible. Best we can do. Best possible, best we can do. Excellence and superior performance must be pursued. Excellence and superior performance must be pursued. So these kind of commitments and standards are what get infused into everything that happens in the organization. My standards have been, and not that you should copy these, but number 1 is worthwhile work. I want to do the kind of dentistry that makes a difference in people's lives. I want everybody to win. Okay? If I don't think it's worthwhile, if I don't think it's in the best interest, I reserve my right to what? Abstain. Okay? If I don't think they're going to get results because they're not going to do the work, I'm going to abstain. Okay? and I want to experience enjoyment and fulfillment, and I want to make a profit so I can go back and do that. Okay? Systems. There are absolutely, in every dental practice in this room, or will be, there's 96 different business systems. And each system represents your DNA of how you want to create a predictable result for that particular area of your practice. We know we have to create predictable results in the technical arena. This is how we create predictable results in every other thing that happens in our practice. So your management systems have to actually produce a marketing result. We're actually delivering something to someone, delivering the expectations. Every time you or I create a predictable result for a patient, where it says something about why we're doing it and who we are. Your costs go down. I used to say it at seminars, and I hesitate to say it here, but I'm going to. When I had my own technicians in my office in Dubuque, we went 7 years without a remake. We never took a casting to the mouth that had to be remade. Does it mean that some things were undercut and I had to do it again? We just didn't go through the process to end up having to remake something. And that humiliated too many dentists, so I don't bring it up very much. But that was a result of a very predictable system in everything we did. Every procedure, everything we did, all the way down the line, from the beginning to the end, because our patients deserved it. We did it not just to drive costs down, we did it because that's what they deserved, because we respected them. Does this make sense to you? You see how you take the value and make a standard and infuse it into what you do? We care enough about you to create a result that's important to you. Now, it would help us to know what result is important to them, right? To just create results that we think are important that aren't important to them. So there has to be an effective system for everything you do in your practice. Okay? Tom Peters said one time, how do you improve a business 100%? You improve each system in the business 1%. You know, you just don't focus on one thing because there's so many things. And one of the things that we say is when you create a system, it needs to be in writing. And you never will ever have a staff meeting that you don't have something to work on. Everything can always be improved. It's constancy of improvement. And the next area is positions. Because you have positions and you have roles that everybody plays because, you know, it's your game. Actually, you're playing a game. And, you know, it's not an individual game. It's a team sport, right? It's a team sport. So the game comes first. The rules and standards come second. The positions that people play come third. In other words, the positions, they have responsibilities, they have duties, they have expectations, and there's certain actions that these people do, the activities that they do. Each position has activities to do. In other words, when you look at any group sport, you think about, well, is everybody playing? You know, if one guy doesn't block, you don't get through the line. If a person doesn't do this, we really depend upon each other. And every once in a while, they show those flicks of that, whatever series that was in Boston when the ball went through his legs, and it went to infamy, didn't it? Right? One mistake on the part of one person cost him a World Series. One small thing. Each position counts. So every position has certain skills, certain capabilities are required to fill different roles in the practice. So the issue comes down to, can your practice grow without standards? Can it grow without systems, roles, and activities? Could any football team win without a plan, without a playbook, without key people in well-defined roles and skills? So here's an example of a team that seems to be working together. You know, people seem to be blocking. The quarterback has plenty of time to look downfield. And if anybody watches NFL football, I think it's a chess game today. It's just so complicated relative to what it used to be. and how the different defenses and how things are played. But it's clear that some of them really play a lot better than others. So at this point, everything's working together. But this is kind of what happens when one part of that defense breaks down. One part breaks down. When one person in an organization doesn't do what they need to be doing, the whole organization or practice. So can you see how purpose is infused into the organization? Does that make sense to you? It makes perfect sense to me that we start with the values and then we think about what is our purpose, and we think about the two missions, the service mission and the economic mission. It makes complete sense to me that as I build an organization, if I'm building a level 1 organization, it's going to be much different than a 2. And it's going to be much different than a 3. Okay? And as I'll describe later, different kinds of people function in different kinds of those environments.